Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. It is podcast time. Well, it is way beyond podcast time. Apologies for a very late weekly podcast. I had some bit of a wild weather situation here where I live, and so that I couldn't record on my usual Tuesday as I was staying somewhere else. And anyway, so it's sort of everything got a bit postponed, but anyway, better late than never. I'm just gonna adjust this here. Um, and yeah, so it is. We're looking at the energies for the week. The week already started on the 30th of June, Monday, 30th of June, and we're looking for the next couple of days until Sunday, the 6th. And I'm just going to include the Monday, the 7th as well, as we're already today is here where I am Thursday, the 3rd of July. So yeah, we've ushered in a whole new month. And with a whole brand new month, we are now in the second half of 2025. And yeah, so we just had the winter solstice, summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, where we've been experiencing a midpoint, an inner time of adjustment, looking back, how far have I come? What do I want to bring in, manifest, visualize for the second half of 2025? So now we are way, way on the way, and it's the second half of the year, and we are in Cancer season. So what I'm gonna talk about in this podcast is, yes, we are in Cancer season. As we can see, the sun is in Cancer at 11 degrees right now, and also Jupiter exalted in the sign of Cancer. So we have emotionality, deep feeling, nurturing, the great mother. Cancer is ruled by the moon. It's about, yeah, nurturing energies. It's about safety. It's fluid, it's liquid, it is feminine. We are deeply engaging with our inner world, with our deep emotions, with patterns from our childhood upbringing, parental patterns. So it's a deep dive into ourself. There is gentleness. It's all the spirit of gentleness is highlighted here as we as we are gathering, as we are summoning our inner the inner strength, the receptivity, the flow. It's about the emotional memory. Also, with the sign of Cancer, it's really it's about everything. It's like an imprint. It's a very fluid, receptive imprint, everything that we've ever experienced, felt, sensed, beyond even in the womb space, before, during gestation. It's such a deep, innate, culminating. It's a container. Cancer rules all the also the body areas that contain. So we're looking at the breast, the stomach. We're looking anything that's a container, that's a sac, that's something that fills with fluid, with. So it's the ebbs and the flows, the ups and downs. We are, yeah, spaces that fill, and also it's often that's also, I feel, where gut feeling comes from as well. So we are the intuition, what we feel first, our first sense that comes in when we want to make a decision before logic kicks in. We just feel it in the container. And we don't want to contain. That's the other thing with Cancer. There is a tendency to contain, to culminate too much. We need a healthy outlet. So that's why it's the fourth sign of the zodiacal wheel. We are bringing together. We don't want to drown in emotionality. We don't want to react. We don't want to especially with Jupiter in Cancer as well, while Jupiter is exalted and very benevolent and bringing in our intuition, our channeling and divine messages and a really deep connection with our true essence. We can also, things can be blown out of proportion. So we got to be careful here, finding the balance. We don't want to, yeah, get drown in how we're feeling. We want to be the author. We want to be in our sovereignty and observing. So it's really important that we can, especially if we feel very emotional, if stuff is up, or can we be the observer, looking at from a higher vantage point, looking from an eagle's eye perspective and our higher self, which can pick up on the lower self. It can pick up the mask that we might be putting on due to parental conditioning that is still deeply, deeply inside of us, of course. And so we are on an introspective journey, also a bit of a more quieter time. It's not so much pushing ahead and yeah, moving forwards. It's really, yeah, we want to connect with how we are truly feeling and being vulnerable, sharing our, yeah, our feelings with people that we trust, where we feel secure and safe within that cocoon, within our own our own space as well. So yeah, so the Cancer energy is strong here. And what we're going to look at. So this week we have Venus. Venus plays a big role. Venus, goddess of love, beauty, grace, our worthiness, value system, money, finances, how much value we put upon ourselves. What is my connection in this embodiment with what I possess? Venus rules Taurus and she rules Libra. It's the cerebral qualities and it is the sensuality of this bodily experience. And so, as we can see, Venus today at 28 degrees of Taurus, she's close at the very end of the second sign of the zodiacal wheel of Taurus. She has been in her own realms of sensuality. We might have been feeling a strong urge to express through the body, receiving a beautiful, nurturing massage, touch, sense, smell. All the senses are involved here, and it's a beautiful, yeah, expression of our humanness. Venus, yeah, Venus rules Taurus. So she's in the last couple of days, only, yeah, only one day before she moves into the next sign of Gemini. Very different energy shift that is coming up this week. So let's go back. Today is the 3rd of July. Venus is coming closer and closer to Uranus. Tomorrow on the 4th of July, they are meeting up. Venus moves fairly swiftly. And yeah, so she's meeting up with Uranus. This is a really big deal. And I feel like as this month is ushering in, the month of July, we are also, it feels like the second half, she's setting the tone. Venus is setting the tone for the second half of the year as she is making a lot of different dialogues with, I think 4 planets. She's connecting with other planets, having dialogues, setting intentions, bringing in certain energies, patterns that are gonna weave through into the second part of this year. So to break it up, tomorrow Venus is coming together with Uranus, and this is a big deal because um, Uranus is about to move into the sign of Gemini. That only happens every 84 years, roughly. So, big deal. It's a once in a lifetime kind of deal. Unless we are born right here, right now, we might experience Uranus again if we live beyond 84 years of age. So this is, yeah, for most of us, once in a lifetime, Uranus in the sign of Gemini, which will happen next week on the 8th of July. And I will talk about Uranus in Gemini a lot more in my next podcast and every following weeks, because Uranus is a huge deal in our evolution, our the sense of spirituality. Uranus is the sky god. We are talking about a total shift of paradigm consciousness, how we timelines that are merging, speeding up. Time in general is going to speed up, how we perceive time, how we it's going to be a huge shift in consciousness, how we perceive ourselves, how we connect with ourselves, with our higher, greater wisdom, multidimensionalities. It's huge. It's really big. And so this Venus is meeting up in the last degree in Taurus with Uranus. The last degree point, and I've pointed that out many times, it's a degree, the anoretic degree. It's a degree of self-mastery. It's critical. Shit is changing here at 29 degrees. We are really peaking because it is the last degree point in for every sign. So in Taurus, we're talking about embodiment. We're talking about um, yeah, we might be feeling changes in the body. There can also be financial changes, interruptions to finances. Because so when we're looking at, so we have the goddess of love, beauty, wisdom, um, worthiness. She's coming together with Uranus, the revolutionary, the rebel, the one that questions authorities. It's Uranus is the sky god, spirit. There is a bridging of spirit and matter, particularly Uranus in Taurus. And just gonna look back, Uranus has been in Taurus for some years. It's been about since 2018, about 7 years, 7.5 years roughly. Uranus has been moving through the sign of Taurus, bringing earth changes. Uranus in Taurus, Uranus is the consciousness in Taurus, earth song lines changing, Mother Earth is changing, we are changing with everything that's happening right now. So there's over the last 7 years we've been going through major shifts in our bodies, in upgrades, and in moving together with earth nature's principles, tapping into our own nature, where we are consciously becoming more and more conscious of the principles as above, so below. Uranus as above, Taurus so below, plants and planets coming together, meeting in the middle in this embodiment and humanness. So I feel what is happening right now and how we're ushering in the second half of 2025 has a lot to do with the midpoint energy, with above and below, with shifting, moving through, bridging the gap between spirit and matter. And we can see that here, Uranus and Venus coming together. Also, this is a great week for sudden shifts and changes in relationships. There can be big unfoldings, unexpected. Uranus has the quality, the archetype, interrupt things, pulls the rug, brings unexpected volcanic lightning strikes. There can be earth changes. I live in the Northern Rivers, Northern New South Wales. We just had extreme wind gusts, severe weather warnings, which moved further down south. I think there's still quite a bit happening around Sydney, and yeah, lots of various predictions of wild weather scenario. And Uranus in Taurus is known for bringing sudden, abrupt changes. And also we can feel that within Uranus also rules the nervous system. So really important. Uranus in Taurus looking after our nerves, also to self-regulate. Really, really important because we can feel scattered. Our emotions are heightened with all the Cancer energy as well. So self-regulation, observing how we are feeling, mirroring, not projecting onto the other. Uranus can be abrupt, there can be reactivity. So we want to be calm and regulating our inner world. And it's exciting as well. So whenever we meet Uranus, there is excitement because there's lightning bolts. There is Venus, Uranus coming together. Maybe we meet someone, boom, all of a sudden, totally unexpected. We meet the person that we've been writing all these lists for, what we're looking in another, and what we're looking in the masculine, the feminine, the what we want to manifest and attract. You just don't know. It could be just around the corner this week because it's exciting. It could be like, whoa, strike us like something, something big. And boom, here it is. And there can also be, yes, there can be sudden changes to our monetary system, sudden fluctuations. Either we receive money, we lose money, there can be, yeah, unexpected developments within and without, above and below. And balance is everything, finding the equilibrium, finding meeting ourselves within, yeah, that on the rainbow bridge that we are gapping spirit and matter. So this is exciting times. This is a shift again in consciousness, upper and lower coming together. We're becoming more embodied, more aware and conscious. Some of us, we might feel great excitement. We might feel a true big shift towards, whoa, something is different all of a sudden. And that's tomorrow, 4th of July, those two coming together. Keep an eye out or not, just roll with it, be the fool in the tarot, walking out into the world in awe. Anything can happen, being very present, I feel is important here. And yeah, see what happens. It's exciting and invigorating and rejuvenating. It's really big. And then the very next day, Venus moves into Gemini. Big shift, 5th of July. Just gonna have a look. She will be in the sign of Gemini till the 1st of August. So we're getting almost a whole month of Venus in Gemini, which is a whole new energy because so Venus in Taurus, as I said, sensual, totally connected with the body. It's all about bodily pleasures, whether we put food in us, whether we touch stuff. It's the joy of this temple of ours. So now she moves into Gemini, the third sign in the zodiacal wheel. Gemini is the cerebral faculties. All of a sudden, we're moving away a bit more from the body because we're more interested in having conversations, communications. It's about the sharing of ideas, sharing with like-minded people, having greater insights. There is also very social. Venus in Gemini is very social. So maybe your social calendar is filling. There is more events, gatherings, what else is going on. The brain, that the mind might be busier. So very, very different energy here. But she just moved past Uranus, so there is this excitement, and Gemini is already very excitable. So we have Uranus, which rules the nervous system, then Venus is in Gemini, which also rules the nervous system. So there's quite invigorating energy that is sort of, whoa, we're getting those triggers, and sometimes it can be, yeah, almost a bit much, feeling a lot of those impulses, and our nervous system might be heightened. So it's really important to calm the farm and take it easy, take a breather, grounding ourselves, getting enough sleep, regularity, really important, routines. Taurus loves routines and regularity. and rituals. And so with Venus till the 1st of August in the sign of Gemini, let's expect also a bit more of a quickening of energies, a quick-wittedness. Our minds are busier, and also, yes, more social activities. Again, and Venus, she's a lot about relationships. She's the goddess of relationships, me versus the other. The yeah. So also I find it quite fascinating as we're looking at as above, so below, the midpoint energy, diving deeply into upper and lower and middle. So also what I find Gemini such an interesting sign to me, because there is polarity, there's a paradox, and I feel in many ways where we are looking, there is trickery, a little bit of trickery and paradoxical things happening, and maybe the whole human condition is kind of this ridiculous paradox in a way, almost like a cosmic joke, but it's not a cosmic joke. It's yeah, it's most beautiful experience, I feel, and the most painful one at the same time. Um, Gemini, so we have a strong Venus energy this week, and we also have a strong Mercurial energy because Mercury rules Gemini. Gemini is also about relationships, and that's what I find fascinating also for people that have Venus in Gemini, because it's sort of twofold. Venus is about relationships. We want to connect, we want to meet as equals and have meet a significant other, and but also in friendships as well. Gemini is, yeah, is very, I don't like the word interesting. There's a duality here, and Venus in Gemini is very dual, and Venus is already a dual goddess. She rules Taurus, she rules Libra, the brain, and the body. She born out of the sea foam. She's very, yeah, very much a dual goddess, and meeting in the sign of duality in Gemini. So where am I heading with that? Gemini also rules relationships, different though. Gemini is about, there is in mythology Castor and Pollux. And again, these were two stars, two brothers, the twins, Castor and Pollux. One was divine, one was mortal, and they only crossed over. They never met. They never met. It was sort of fated for them that they didn't meet. They, when one went into the other underworld, the other went into the upper world. And I feel there is some big energies happening this week with upper world and lower world. Uranus, upper world, Taurus anchoring us in this world. Venus, the dual goddess, body, mind. Then Gemini, duality, upper and lower, where, yeah, the underworld, upper world. And so where can we find the midpoint? I feel everything this week is directing us to our embodiment, our multidimensionality, our being soul that has a body, and coming to that, bridging the gap between spirit and matter. And I really truly feel that is the shift in consciousness that is happening right now on so many levels. So looking at, and in the celestial tarot, also Gemini represents the card in the tarot of the lovers. Major Arcana, the Lovers card. With the Lovers in the Celestial Tarot by Brian Clark, it says, with the Lovers, an inner synthesis of soul and body is taking place, which may be projected out onto relationships. On the capes of the Lovers are butterflies, the cross-cultural symbol of soul, of the soul and the breath of life, free of its earthy flesh. So it's very fascinating, I find. Gemini is acutely aware of separateness. So again, so I feel like we are moving through a portal, a container of where do I feel separate? Where do I feel separate within and without in my relationship to self, my relationship to nature. I feel we are all deeply imprinted with a sense of separation from the cosmos, from the all, from nature, from my inner, from my outer body. There's a lot of sense of separation, and Gemini reminds us of that. Because of that, also mythology, upper, lower, divine, mortal, and I feel we in this earthly plane, and that's why we are so powerful. We are on this heroic quest to truly embody everything. We are it. We are cosmic consciousness, and we are form manifested. It's incredible. And I feel this is the week where shit goes down, where things are happening, and we have the opportunity to be it, to do it. And then when we're looking at the ruler of Gemini, we have Mercury moving through the sign of Leo, very warm-hearted, connecting with the heart. Our conversations are heartwarming, filled with love. There's playfulness. Mercury is the trickster. Again, Mercury is the archetype of crossroads. Mercury is the guide of souls, the psychopomp, taking us into our deep subconscious, taking souls on a journey into their subconscious. So again, we have upper lower. Mercury travels into the underworld, up into the upper world, and there is this crossing over. Where is that gap, that midpoint? Where is that threshold, that liminal phase? I feel this week, wherever we look, there is liminality, there's a threshold, there is crossroads, and where are we at? So this is huge. Also, Mercury is just moving into shadow phase this week. Mercury, yes, Mercury is going retrograde this month. When is that going to happening? I think on the 19th of July. Mercury is stationing retrograde on the 19th, moving retrograde 20th of July until the 2nd of August. We are no, actually, no, longer. We are 3 weeks, 12th of August, I think it is. Yes, 12th of August. So 20th of July till the 12th of August, Mercury will be retrograde. I'll talk about that a lot more. I won't go into that today, but we're already in shadow phase. It's a time of preparation. It's a time, really great time to declutter, sweep out the corners of our own inner world, outer world, time to prepare. Also going within into our heart space. How do I feel? Where do I want to direct my journey? There is movement, and there's a lot more inwards movement now, while we're also filling our social calendars. So it's a bit of both. We're doing it all this month. It's huge, mega. Also happening 5th of July, Neptune is stationing retrograde. Again, Neptune is our higher self, higher learning, channeling, our deep connection with spirit. And we just had a beautiful, Neptune moving into the sign of Aries, huge deal, together with Saturn moving into Aries. So both planets, Saturn will also station and go retrograde. That's going to be on the 14th of July. So all of this is big shit. And also this Venus is making very favorable aspects to Neptune going retrograde. So that's really so Venus is making all these dialogues, beneficial dialogues with Neptune in a sextile. She's communicating with Mercury in a sextile. She is communicating in a trine to Pluto. There is air, there is transformation, our thinking, our also hierarchies. We are equalizing, meeting our one another as equals. No more hierarchies, no more bullshit. We are moving away. Neptune going backwards, seemingly backwards, retrograding in Aries. We are moving away from hierarchies. We are moving away from um, linearity, time. concept of time. We're really, and everything in the sign of Aries here, it's a deep sense of sovereignty. We are the authors of our own life. So this is a deep dive into self, readjusting, realigning, becoming more conscious. And I feel like Venus touching up, woohoo, high five with Uranus here, with the sky god, who actually, when we're looking at mythology, Saturn castrated his father Uranus. Um, and through that castration of Uranus, the testicles fell into the ocean, and Venus, Aphrodite, was born out of the semen, that Uranian semen. So there is a rebirthing aspect here of Venus being reborn, and I really feel this is a freaking week of rebirth, birthing out of the ocean, out of the sea, the Cancerian energy. We also, here where I live, there is whale season, and so many dolphins, whales. The ocean is alive, and also alive through high swells at the moment, and it's everything feels more present, and more alive, and this is big. We have Mars still in Virgo. We are organizing. Also, this Mars in Virgo will be playing in together with the ruler of Virgo here, Mercury, as Mercury will go retrograde. A great time to declutter, getting organized and prepared. And as well as, of course, we always want to be present. And so huge times. Also this week, the moon, she's moving through the sign of Scorpio right now. So that adds to the intensity of everything. And I still feel like if we are making, yeah, there's something about relationships that is coming, yeah, also today and tomorrow, the moon moves through Libra, a beautiful energy ruled by Venus. Venus is highlighted anyway. And so there's a beautiful relationship energy. Maybe something's going to come to consciousness. There is a shift, there is an inner acknowledgement, there is excitement, and what's more exciting than how we are relating to ourselves, to others, a beautiful reflection of where we are at, and also in the celestial tarot with Gemini, in order for the choice about a relationship to be made, we first must feel the conflict and opposition in ourselves. On an oracular level, the card of the lovers may prophesy that a relationship will fulfill our urge for an equal other. But while we may long to see the reflection of our own soul in the eyes of the beloved, Gemini is acutely aware also of our separateness. So it's the duality of the pain and the joy of connecting and relating. And so there's so much happening this week. We are really truly rebirthing ourselves. Very benevolent dialogues between Venus and four other planets. Cancer will give us the groundedness, that the inner resolve to self-nurture. Jupiter is expanding consciousness, our higher self. Uranus, the sky god, boom, channeling down into our body. Chiron in Aries, healing the wounded masculine, healing the wounded feminine. Neptune going retrograde, a deeper consciousness arising, a deep dive, while Mars is hanging in the sign of Virgo, giving us the groundedness, giving us that, yeah, a sense of organization to keep on going, keep on going on. And the moon moving into Scorpio tomorrow, 5th of July, 6th of July. There is intensity to our feeling world. There is, yeah, sparkles in the air. And what else is happening? And then I'll talk about more about Uranus moving into Gemini on the 8th of July. That's a huge deal, happens about every 84 years, once of a lifetime for most of us kind of deal. And that's when things are speeding up. And I feel yeah, there's a lot of benevolence in there. There is also, I feel like, a lot around technology that will gonna be revealed, but also I feel there is a lot about life force energy. And um, yeah, there is a lot about universal energies channeling deeper sense of consciousness and a speeding up, and also a greater way of connecting to our essence and bringing greater embodiment. Yeah. Yeah. This is, yeah, huge times and big week, and I leave it at that. Overall, excitement, and yeah, let's nurture our nervous systems, and also being very aware of triggers of and how we can self-regulate. Our nervous system is everything. If we can regulate our nervous system, we are winning. Because that's how if we can meet one another with a regulated nervous system, we can meet each other as equals, and that's what Gemini season is all about. Namaste. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now. So much love.